There were 4 different arcade versions of NBA Jam. The first, called of course NBA Jam, came out in April 1993 and is among the best-selling arcade games of all time. Its sequel, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, came out in April 1994 with expanded rosters and bug fixes. Tournament Edition is an absolutely fantastic game. This is the one that I played the most in the arcades. Then came NBA Hangtime in April 1996, which most fans recognize as the best in the series. And finally, there was NBA Showtime in April 1999, which is a forgotten classic. But if you could only choose one of these 4 arcade games, which one would you choose? And yeah, I know about NBA Hoops, which is the 2001 Midway direct-to-console 3-on-3 game, but that's not an arcade game. We want to talk about the core of Midway's arcade NBA Jam series. These are the games that most of us remember actually playing. Well, most people would probably choose NBA Hangtime.
Serious Hangtime.
The alley-oop system is simply fantastic.
Rodman goes up. They're smoking.
Creating your own player is a great innovation.
NBA Hangtime.
And the graphics are smooth and quite attractive.
Oh, he's on fire.
Now, having said all that, there are a few reasons why you might prefer one of the other games over NBA Hangtime. So let's dive in a little bit and compare some stuff, starting with the graphics. Well, like I said, NBA Hangtime's graphics are great.
A pull-up jumper. Full. Oh, he's heating up.
The frame rate also feels just right.
Push, 1 minute to go. Again with a shot. He's on fire.
However, the game looks really dark to me.
Again with a shot. Rodman. He catapults.
Personally, I've always preferred the lighter graphic approach in the first 2 games. NBA Jam Tournament Edition in particular has a certain graphical feel that really is attractive to me. I also feel like the game plays a little bit faster in Tournament Edition than in Hangtime. Hangtime has the alley-oops and the different dunks, sure.
Stolen. Goes up. Murdoch leans away. Deflected.
But Tournament Edition still looks a bit better to me. Now, you might be wondering why the more recent game, NBA Showtime, doesn't automatically win the graphics battle. Let's take a look. NBA Showtime was amazing because of all of the NBA on NBC graphics. The game is kind of a 3D game, though it's really just a 2D game with a few 3D elements. But the problem that I have here is that the characters look like cartoons. The muscles on these guys is absolutely ridiculous. And like NBA Hangtime, this game strikes me as a little bit dark. I still feel like the original game looks more like an actual NBA broadcast. And Tournament Edition gives me a similar feeling. But you know, it's possible that you would disagree with me, and I totally respect that. I mean, I just guess this might just be me, but NBA Hangtime didn't impress me graphically as much as I would have expected. Anyway, next up, let's talk about the sound. This is honestly where NBA Hangtime suffers.
Difficult shot. No good. Took him out. Fantastic.
I mean, Neil Funk did the best that he could, but he's no Tim Kitzrow.
Pippen has the rebound. He drains it.
The sound effects on dunks and stuff like that is okay, but it kind of feels like a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Hawks at home.
Kitzrow was back for NBA Showtime. However, he really doesn't have as many iconic calls in this game.
Going up for the dunk. Right through.
I really prefer his work for the first 2 games. However, it does depend on which version you play. For the full announcer experience, give NBA Jam Special Edition a try. Well, we should also talk about gameplay, since of course the point of the game is to play it, not just to look at it and listen to it. And this is the one where I think the choice is a lot more straightforward. Look, all 4 of these games have essentially the same gameplay style.
With a layup. Nicely done.
There aren't really many differences between them.
With the hesitation move, way up in the air. Who's that?
However, NBA Hangtime is simply better.
Serious hang time. Up close and personal.
The alley-oop system is fantastic and it really adds a lot to the game.
Goes up. They're smoking.
But what people tend to forget is that defense in NBA Hangtime is simply amazing.
Weatherspoon. Get that out of here. Finger roll.
This is the one game in the series where good defense can be more important than spectacular dunks and crazy offense.
He shoots. He yanks it off the rim. Pippen. Turnover.
For that reason alone, NBA Hangtime is likely the best game in the series.
Forced the shot up.
Now, once again, you might be wondering why I didn't just go for NBA Showtime. I mean, the gameplay in these games is very, very similar. But the reason why I don't go with Showtime in terms of gameplay is because Midway made a really crucial mistake with that game. For some reason, they decided to put fouls in NBA Showtime.
O'Neal.
I guess the idea is that they didn't want you to shove guys down all day long.
McDice. And he missed it. Phillips.
Actually, if you're serious about playing NBA Jam, you'll realize that going for the shove is usually a dumb move defensively. Instead, you need to go back and actually play defense. But the fouls in NBA Showtime are a real distraction.
He just flat out leveled him. Phillips. Get that shot out of here.
No NBA Jam game should have any free throw shooting. This adds to the time that it takes to play a game, and it really is a buzzkill.
Rakovic. Again, the shot won't go. Rakovic. Oh, with the alley-oop.
Well, just think about this for a second. Could you imagine a game like NFL Blitz, but with penalties? You know, that's what this feels like. I think that it was a horrible decision to include fouls in this game, and really, in my mind, this is the thing that causes NBA Showtime to be the weakest game in the series. But there are some other things to consider, for example, the hidden players. NBA Jam Tournament Edition is the clear winner here. Sure, chances are that the version you're playing won't let you play with the Mortal Kombat characters. However, the arcade version of Tournament Edition has a great variety of characters. Some of them are totally bizarre. Others are notorious, such as the 2 former pinup models. Now, to be fair, NBA Hangtime did have a great innovation. They created a Create a Character mode, but it just doesn't feel quite the same. Hangtime's selection of non-NBA guest players is pretty limited. Most of them are programmers that you've likely never heard of. There are some NBA players, but not many. It feels like there are fewer in this game than in NBA Jam. And unfortunately, none of these games let you play with politicians the way that you could in the acclaimed home console ports. NBA Showtime was a little bit more like it with a bigger selection of hidden characters. But again, you've got to deal with the fouls in that game, which is a major minus. Anyway, I personally prefer the variety in NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Well, if you combine everything together, is NBA Hangtime really the best? In terms of gameplay, I would say yes, NBA Hangtime is above the rest of them. It honestly feels like NBA Showtime was a step in the wrong direction. But I really like the look of NBA Jam Tournament Edition the best. Hangtime would have been nice if it weren't so dark.
To Weatherspoon. He shoots. Away to the side. Good.
And the announcer in NBA Hangtime just drives me nuts.
Took him out. Pippen goes up. He's on fire. Behind the three-point arc. He's got the hot hand.
So in the end, I really do think it's a toss-up. If I'm playing with more than one person, Hangtime is more fun, absolutely.
Oh, he's on fire.
But for solo play, I prefer Tournament Edition. Or more specifically, NBA Jam Special Edition, so I can play as Jordan. Anyway, there you have it. I mean, if you made me only have one of these games, I would choose NBA Jam Tournament Edition, but this special edition that came out so I can play as Ken Griffey Jr., Michael Jordan, and so on. I'm guessing that a lot of you would disagree with me. Let me know down below what you think and which one of these four you like the best.